Welcome to the most unfiltered, unbiased podcast in the Bulls Nation. Welcome to the Bulls Guys Podcast. I'm your host, K-Dub, and this is my co-host, Mr. Kataka from Chicago, Illinois.
What's up, Bulls fans?
Kataka. Zachlavine just made me want to shed a tear tonight, man. Every single time it came down to hit shot, he just hit it, and I just looked at him like a little kid that just was learn how to ride his tricycle. It was beautiful. Both
fans, Zach, he showed up tonight. Zach showed up.
When you guys come back, we're gonna break down this beautiful game right after this. The Bulls Guys Podcast can now be heard on YouTube. Get all your latest news, debates, rants right here on the Bulls Guys Podcast. The Bulls Guys Podcast can now be heard and followed on all social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Spotify. All right, we're back. So Kataka, It was beautiful, man. But the only thing I didn't like, I'm gonna keep it real, is the blown lead. But the Bulls found the way to pull it out thanks to Zachlavine's big 41-point night, 117-115. The Chicagobulls improved to 29-34, and Detroit their 48th loss of the season. What is your thoughts on this game tonight?
Hey, you forgot to thank one more other person. Go by the name of Ivy.
Oh man, listen, I wish they would have did that in that Cleveland game, in that series in Cleveland when we played against Cleveland.
Right.
When David Black called the timeout.
Right.
But man, I was cheering for days, man, when he did that. That basically gave us the game.
Yeah, man. I agree with you, man. Zach did his thing tonight. He stepped up. You know what I'm saying? And let's address the blown lead. I don't know. It's like when that second unit, I guess they weren't clicking today. Usually the second unit was on point.
I think Alex Caruso and Vooch wasn't clicking. They made a lot of turnovers as far as that one to two punch goes. As far as those two, I don't know what's going on with Vooch, man. He's been in the league a long time. I don't know why this guy can't just catch a simple pass in the paint.
Yeah, for a big man, he got horrible hands. I mean, his hands are soft. Right. I mean, because it's been some passes that I don't see. I mean, they weren't like bullet passes. It was just clear-cut chest pass, and this dude just fumbling the ball, and then, I don't know, man. I mean, he's, 32, 33? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, so that's not good.
There was also some blown rotations. You seen Patrick Beverley talking to him about that blown rotation on the defensive end that he missed. Let's check out the scoreboard. DeMar DeRozan had 21 tonight, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, for a quiet 21 for him. But I felt like this was a good game for him. He did a lot of things in this game. He sat back. He let the game come to him. He didn't force anything. He got fouled when he wanted to, and got the and one. And then you had Vucevic added 12. I think that was a bad game for him tonight. Beverly with 5 points, 10 assists for Patrick Beverly.
Dimes, yeah, he was dishing them dimes and defense. Mm-hmm. And that block that he got on Wiseman was a clear ass block. Yes, man. I mean, that was a clean ass block.
Mm-hmm. And then for Detroit, you had Marvin Bagley with 8 points. The team high for Detroit was Bogdanovich with 34 points.
Sniper.
8 for 12 from 3-point and 11 for 21 from the field. Then Ivy added 18 points. He won't be looked at as no hero in the locker room after what you just pointed out. But the Bulls roll, man. They dropped one in Toronto, which I felt was a travesty. But they fought in that game in Toronto. You know, it's not like they just went in there and they cost themselves the game. I think the coaching was bad. I think Billy Donovan's substitutions was bad. Not having Drummond in the game at the end, we were unable to rebound the ball against Toronto in that game. But the Bulls come back and win this game. But Kataka, the whole time that we were winning this game and we were doing our thing in this game, I'm saying to myself, okay, this is just another bad team. We beat the Nets. Then we beat after that the Nets, and then we beat somebody else.
Let's see.
I forgot, man. Excuse me, Chicago Bulls fans, but I forgot who we played in the second game. But all of the teams that we beat, they were below 500 teams, bad teams that we expected to beat.
We beat the Nets.
The Wizards. The Wizards was.
Yep.
Well, the Wizards is in the playoff push. You know what I mean? So I guess you could consider them a good team, but I want to see us beat a top echelon team playing defense and how we're doing right now. But we've been doing it all year before we got Beverly. But during this stretch right now, we need to win the games that we're supposed to win, and we need to beat good teams. I mean, we can't afford to drop any game. I don't want to sound like I'm greedy, but at this point of the season, Kataka, with limited amount of games, we can't afford to drop a lot of games, especially when we got them in the bag.
We can't. I mean, I'm looking at the schedule. We play the Suns next. I know you say we can beat the Suns.
I think we can.
KD, shout out to KD. He did his thing on his debut.
Well, KD is back. Listen, that might be a battle. I told you that if he's back, it's going to be a battle. He did make his return tonight. I see he had 14 points in the first half or something against we played tonight, Charlotte.
Yeah. But Charlotte, they going down anyway because Ball is out. So then we got the Pacers. We owe them.
They beat Charlotte 105-91.
Damn, I'm surprised it was just 105-91. They should have beaten them by 50.
Kevin Durant had 23 points, and Devin Booker had 37 in that game.
Wow. And Chris Paul probably got about 20 dimes, I'm sure.
And they got 26 from Kelly Oubre. Man, Oubre is a nice player, man. I would love to have him on the Bulls, man. He hustles.
Yeah, he plays on both ends, man. I like him too. But I think he be trying to go for the money too. I don't think he be trying to want to win, go to a team to win. He a money chaser, which is sad because he got some talent. He got some skill.
Yeah, but back to the Bulls blowing these leads, man. I don't understand it, why they just stopped playing after a certain period of time. The largest lead they had in this game was 21. The largest lead Detroit had was 3. But the Bulls are blowing a 21-point lead and to make this game competitive. And it's like, man, it's like a repetitive cycle. They do this every single game. And playing in the playoffs, this is not something that you could be doing. This is a bad habit they're going to have to break.
Yeah, because, they obviously shown that, hey, man, we playing against a team. We can definitely take them out of their game early, you know what I mean, and go up big. And you're right, sustaining leads is not good. And, both the starting and the bench, man, they're capable of keeping these. It's just off the bench, who's going to step up?
And, and I was watching this game, seeing Kobe White, Pat, and Ayo do their thing, man. And I'm like, I think Patrick Beverly going to get these young guys to their true potential. To their true potential, man. I could just see Kobe White flourishing already. And, being tutored and mentored by Patrick Beverly, having Patrick Beverly in his ear. Because I already think Kobe got the dog in him already.
Yeah.
The way he performed at UNC, breaking Michael Jordan's point record and all of that. So he has the dog in him. Coming into the league, he had that dog in him. But it's just he hasn't been consistent the past 2 years. I don't know why, But I think most of it was him not playing smart and forcing a lot of things at the wrong times. Now he's starting to mature, come into his own, making the right plays. He's talking to teammates. Teammates are not just talking to him,
right, on
what to do on the floor. So that's what I mean about the maturity level that he's gained.
So now the question is, okay, in the off season, since he's going to be I don't know if he's unrestricted. I think he'll be an unrestricted free agent. Do you bring him back? Do you keep Ayo? I don't know if you're going to be able to use two of them because both of them are pretty much similar players in a sense, except one play more deep.
Nah, I need Kobe back. Kobe's a sniper. Ayo is a utility man. They're two different players in my book. They played both the same position, but they play totally different games. See, with Ayo is not just a bucket, and he's not just a guy that you're going to go out there and just shoot. He's going to make a lot of different plays that make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's going to go out there and shoot you to death, and occasionally he's going to make some good passes. But he's mainly a scorer. So
the question is, would Kobe want to look for a bigger role, or he going to be, plus the money, or he just going to be like, all right, let me go see what I'm worth out there, and get a bigger role, get the money and play with a good team.
Well, it's all about what teams offer him, though.
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of teams are gonna come after him, knowing his capability, knowing he can shoot. So everybody needs a shooter. That spark plug. So.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, Bulls fans, we're gonna talk about Lonzo Ball being shut down for the season. Right after this. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard and followed on all social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Spotify. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard on YouTube. Get all your latest news, debates, rants, right here on the Bulls Guys podcast. Back on the Bulls Guys podcast. So Kataka.
Yep.
I read a report today that states Lonzo Ball has nerve damage in his knee, and it's going to mean career-threatening surgery, or it's a career-threatening illness to his knee, meaning he's not coming back, basically. This is something that I wouldn't say I didn't expect. I kind of did, but I kind of didn't as well. I thought that he would be out for a long period of time, like missing this season and part of next season, worst case scenario. But to lose him, just period, not coming back, his career is over. That's kind of a harder blow than I really expect.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect. I didn't expect that either. Like you said, I expect him to be out. I actually thought he was going to come back sometime this season. But, man, as we, start progressing in the season, I was just like, all I thought it was Brandon Roy. You know what I'm saying? This guy's still young, but if he's not going to play, his career is in jeopardy. I mean, that's going to put us with the Bulls? I mean, the Bulls are going to have to probably void his contract.
They're going to have to catch a break. What they got, the injured player rule?
Yeah, because they got a rule that they can basically sign a player, and it probably won't count. I don't know if it counts towards their cap or anything like that, because it's like a freebie in a sense. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, they're gonna have to address the point guard, and they're just gonna have to chalk that up as a loss.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what, it's devastating, because when you consider the kind of potential that he would have had in his career had he been able to. And listen, we still don't know. This is all speculation. I'm just saying, if he does not come back and his career is in fact over, man, what a waste of a good career, and what a waste of good talent, man. Because that guy, I think he could have been even better than he was playing for the Bulls had he continued to play.
Right.
Played for the Lakers, started out with them. I don't think he met his full potential playing under LeBron. Then he went to Oklahoma City, New Orleans. And flourished a little bit, had injuries, Then he came to Chicago and,
it was a good season.
Yeah, it was a primary contributor to the Bulls being number one in the East. So, it's a bad story, man. But
could you imagine though, with him and Patrick Beverley on the same squad, not necessarily playing on the same court, like at the same time, but just Lonzo starting and Patrick Beverley, finishing up, right after him. I mean, that you talking about moving up, and I think we would definitely be in the top three.
Yeah, we would have been in the top 3, man. Listen, and matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. That probably would have been the best defensive backcourt in the East, if not in the whole league, because nobody really plays defense anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, give me a tandem that would have been better than those two. Like I said, just a couple seconds ago, nobody in the league plays defense anymore. Those probably the 2 best defenders in the NBA, let alone the Bulls.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I'm hoping he comes back and that he's able to return. I think he should go see a specialist, man, and see somebody that like would, heal his knee in a special kind of way. But he's definitely gonna have to get surgery. I know they've been trying to hold off on that. I don't think he's a big fan of getting surgery.
I wouldn't be a fan of it either. But if it's shit about me getting paid and you know what I'm saying, filling up my pockets, I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it ain't about what you want; it's all about what you need.
Yeah, man, Kataka. Like I said. On that note, I don't just want to change the subject on a topic like this, so we're going to take a break and come right back. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the game, and we're going to talk about the Bulls' schedule moving forward right after this. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard and followed on all social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Spotify. Back on the Bulls Guys podcast. So, Kataka, the Bulls get another one. 3 out of the last 4, the Bulls are 3-1 with Patrick Beverley. I think, based on that, I think we can say it's kind of been a success having him here. Especially the motivational factor, not just the wins. The way the team is playing, everybody's demeanor. I mean, the guys are playing like they really want to play basketball now. They wasn't doing that before. So, just off of that, I think it's a success.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I mean, anytime you get a new person coming into the mix, a veteran, that sort of takes you out of that mode and not have Lonzo around, but you have somebody who's an older version of Lonzo, might not necessarily have to put up, efficient 3-pointer, but somebody who's like a floor general. I mean, you're gonna get back into the swing of things and finish out the season strong. So yeah, man, it's a great addition. I'm glad we didn't get Westbrook because as you can see, the Clippers are 0-3 with Westbrook. So hey, we dodged the bullet.
Right. I mean, I was kind of like leaning towards him being a good fit because he attacks the rim but man, listen, if you go to every team and the team start doing bad because of you, it gotta be you, man. It can't be everybody else.
It gotta be.
It gotta be. But man, speaking of Westbrook, 27 assists for the Bulls tonight. 9 steals, 4 blocks. This team is playing defense, Kataka. And listen, this ain't the same Bulls team we was watching at the beginning of the season.
No, not at all. I think they're number 1 in defensive ranking since January 15th. I saw.
I think they said since the All-Star break.
Yep.
Or a little before the All-Star break, I think.
Yep.
I have to check on that, but man, the reason why I think they've been losing, if I'm giving my personal take, because if you're gonna tell me, okay, they're able to do this defensively, they're able to out rebound teams or tie teams. They had 40 rebounds tonight. So they're forcing turnovers. They forced 17 Detroit turnovers tonight. They're passing the ball. They're getting fast break points. They're getting 40 points in the paint, 40 points in the paint tonight. They're doing what they're supposed to do. 3-1 in the last 4 games. I think the primary focus needs to be on how do we maintain what we've been doing for the first 3 quarters. How do we keep that channel focused? How do we keep grounded? And my simple answer to that is, what's your goal? How good do you want to be? Well, how far do you want to go? Because if you just want to win a couple games, then I mean, you are where you are. But if you want to go further, get to the playoffs, knock somebody out the playoffs, and see how far you can go, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, and that's going to take work night after night after night after night, Kataka.
I think my mindset should be, if I was them, is to not only get in the playoffs, but win a series. You know what I mean? Prove to everybody that, hey, you know, the Bulls ain't the joke of the damn league. You know what I'm saying? We're not, you know, fixated on, you know, our struggles, and, you know, we're not being characterized as a soft team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would be my goal. I know Billy probably tell him, hey, you know, we're not tanking, because I think I saw something he said, hey, tanking is not an option. We're not tanking. But I'm sure he probably telling these guys that, hey, the playoffs is doable. I know probably some of them thinking, hey, you know, let's at least get to the play-in, which I don't think that's a good goal to be thinking. But they're thinking about maybe taking one game at a time to get into the playoffs. That would be my thinking.
You got to win every game, man. You got to come out with some hunger. And listen, man, tonight, that's why I don't like what I saw, because it's like at the end of the day, you're supposed to be going after a playoff push.
Yeah.
Suppose you could have almost lost this game tonight. You just lost to Toronto. You can't. You got to be careful, man. You can't be dropping too many games right now. There's only 20 left, or under 20 right now.
Yeah, and I think when Detroit was making that run, man, I can just see their demeanor, man. It's like, okay, here we go again. But see, I noticed that for some reason,
the Bulls got 8. They got 18 games left.
Yeah,
it's like, man, you can't afford to lose. You got to go hard, bro, for every single quarter,
especially against the shitty teams. I mean, please do not lose any shitty teams for the rest of the season.
Yes, man. Like, you gotta win these games, man. Listen, you got to win these games. You know, and I don't even care if we playing against Phoenix. You're gonna have to go against them like they're another team, bro.
Yeah.
Durant just got there. They probably just still trying to figure out how they gonna fit them in. This is the perfect time to punch them in the mouth. Perfect time to catch them slipping and pissing on themselves.
Right, but I am curious to see how their lineup is gonna be with Durant when they get going against Durant. I mean, we just lost to Toronto with small ball. I mean,
yeah,
Phoenix is tall and lean too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Billy Donovan is going to do, but I'm curious to see we still got a roster spot open. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But we need to utilize our bigs.
Yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. And Andre Drummond, you know, and Vooch. I think when you're playing against certain teams, certain nights, those three guys got to be in there. They have to be in there. No question about it. No questions asked. Those three got to be in there. And I think to back them up, I'm going to put Zach and Patrick Beverly in the backcourt. You know what I mean? That way I got defense in the front court, and I got defense in the backcourt, and I have a mixture of scoring in the backcourt. Because Patrick Beverly could score too with the best of them. Yeah, he ain't no scorer, but you can't leave him wide open.
Right, because he will hit a three here and there. Yep.
Right. So, and then, you know, Zach is the sharpshooter. Then you got Derrick Jones Jr. He could block a couple shots. Andre Drummond's a shot blocker. Vooch could block his share of shots, and they're all good rebounders.
Right.
So you need those guys on the floor. You know what I mean? So it was a little alarming to me that Derrick Jones Jr. wasn't on the floor, and Andre Drummond wasn't on the floor against Toronto. Billy Donovan got to get these rotations sharp, man. I'm telling you, the playoffs is right around the corner.
Yeah, that's his knock, man. He doing with like a Thibodeau, man. It's like he refusing to play certain guys, and the matchup be off, and we getting burned by. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, you know, and the crazy part is that you go to small lineups, our guys aren't scorers. Caruso's not really a scorer. He's just all defense. You know, so you got two guys that are not scorers. Lineup. You know, it's not. No.
I heard him say like 5 times in that press conference that after that loss to Toronto, we're too small and that they're bigger than us up front. Okay, that's the reason why you should have played Andre Drummond and Derrick Jones Jr.
Exactly.
You telling me right there, you know that we small, but you didn't play the right guys. See, I can't give somebody a break on that. Now, if you didn't realize it, I can give you a break. But so many times, though, because if it keep happening to you, you should realize after all. But you mentioned that we're small, and you still not using the big man.
You even got a two-way player. Don't get me wrong. Don't forget, they got a two-way player they got from the Pacers. The dude got at least started. I think he played at least 19 games in the league. You know what I'm saying? And the dude killed us. Play him. He got more experience than Dalen Terry.
I mean, see, the thing is with me, teams should never out-hustle you. Size is one thing. You can't teach size. But at the end of the day, you can't let a team out-hustle you, especially when you got more to play for and you got a personal goal. So, I'm not going to beat the Bulls up too much. They dropped 1 out of 4. But, they nearly dropped this one tonight. So I need them to be sharp. I need them to be protecting these leads. I need them to be sending a message. You can't let teams feel like they could just come back on you. And this is an MO that has been an MO of the Bulls for some time now. And I think that's something that has to change as well. Maybe a new coach like Ime Udoka would change that. That in my dreams, bro. In my dreams, Kataka.
Or somebody, they NBA, the commissioner just lift whatever beef he got with this guy, but let Mark Jackson get his shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something, so we'll see.
I don't think they'll ever let Mark Jackson coach in the league again, bro.
I forgot. What did he do?
They fired him over some religious reasons and stuff like that. He was like not making some of the practices. And for the most part, all I know is they fired him for religious reasons. And I just think it was wrong to fire him for that.
Wow.
Now you're going to make me want to go back and read more up on it because this happened like years ago. But I remember vaguely it was something to do with his religion or something like that.
Which is unethical, but okay.
Yep. But in San Francisco, what is ethical?
Right.
You're talking about a satanic state right there in California.
Right.
Where everything goes.
Right. Don't get me started.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the Bulls win tonight. They take care of business. We're going to come back and wrap up the show right after this. The Bulls Guys podcast can now be heard and followed on all social media platforms. Follow us on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and Spotify. Time for the final word. Growth and focus. There is no focus without growth. For the Bulls, they must focus on making the playoffs. Consistency. Winning 3 out of the last 4. With Patrick Beverley, the Bulls have found new life. New life to take on greater pastures. And with new life comes new responsibilities. Change. Change is inevitable with growth. But once again, that all starts with focus. Can the Bulls focus? Can they change old habits to see that their goal is met? Can they change old habits to grow closer and closer towards those goals? 18 games left. Only time will tell. Zachlavine tonight showed that he's grown. But will that be every night? Or was that just tonight? This is a starting point for Zachlavine to focus on the player that he knows that he can be. Leaving the past behind him and moving forward. For the Bulls, they must do what Zachlavine did tonight. Find their start point and focus until they complete the goal. And when they complete the goal, that's when growth has been met. All right, Kataka, we're at the end of the show. A big win, man. I get to go to my bed tonight with a Bulls victory.
Yes.
Which is better than a loss.
Right, exactly. No more crying yourself to sleep.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to tell you what, man. I'm going to shed more tears for Zachlavine, man. Listen, if he's able to continue playing like this is the Zachlavine I've been waiting for, Kataka. This is the Zachlavine that is going to lead the Bulls to the promised land. This is the Zachlavine that I thought all along was the franchise player, the centerpiece. This is the Zachlavine that passed Derrick Rose and Chicagobulls scoring.
Yes, and as long as we got a pass first point guard, a true point guard to keep Zach from handling the ball all the time, and just spot up and shoot or occasional drive, we good.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna keep seeing that same Zachlavine.
All right, Bulls fans, please like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please support us. We're still a growing channel.
Yes,
to the people that did subscribe and support us, we had one more subscriber since our last show. Subscriber, thank you very much. Yes, thank you from the Bulls Guys podcast. We're going to continue trying to bring you great content as only we know how. And follow us on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. You know, we're on them all. All right, that's it, Kataka. Good night, Chicago. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good night. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.